Lovely day. Time for the next video. What we are going to create, we're going to create feet. We can do lots of things. We can create nice lady, a good figure, a hot body. But what? We are creating a feet because we love feet and we have a thing for feet. So we have already created this much. Let's get to the next part where we're going to create feet because we love feet. So I'm starting with the box. What I will keep it in mind, 8 loops. 4 we already got. And we have a bottom view. Let's go to the bottom. Yep. So we're going to match from the bottom and from the side view. 2 references I have already set. I believe everybody know how to set up the reference. If you don't know, just watch any of my old videos. Somewhat the reference doesn't seems to be aligned. Okay, I haven't aligned it. So just quickly align it. Here's the bottom. I'll just select it and move forward. When it touches the base, it should do the same at the other end where the thumbs meet. Well, it's not matching. We need to scale it. We have no option. Another thing we can do, just snap the vertex here and just scale it. Yeah, that will do the job. Not has to be very exact, but this will do the job. So let's continue. First, what we need to do, we need to match the blocking. This is the easy part. We won't go all the way to the thumb. We'll just stop before the thumb, just like the palm hand. Let's add one more loop here. Sorry for being a bit faster. You can add loops the way you want. If you want, I'll put a tutorials for such kind of shortcuts. For now, let's move ahead. So we are planning to make it without fingers, and then we'll extrude the fingers. Let's just add them in the layers and lock it. So my right click always takes polygon. I also have to just hide it. Back to the feet. So if you can see, we already got 8 loops and the body also had 8 loops. So this is the easy part we solved. The next part where we have to put some good volume. Okay, if you take this where it goes, this is where it goes, the middle part. Here you can see the forefinger and you can see where the thumb meets. So this kind of things varies. Okay, let's take it to the corner. Let's extend it a little. We can go, but it has to be somewhere. Okay, everything has to be round. I'll just make it round. Later on we might add more loops. Okay, time for the next loop. One loop here, one loop here, and then we will manage it. So this needs to stay straight. Good. This needs to go inside. Okay, so this is where the volume comes. I might need to watch my feet, but somewhere here this can lies. Let's put them down. This is the thumb side. I'll just take it little inside, so it creates a bit of roundness. Okay, so we are getting the roundness, and just like the hand, we're going to extrude 4. So we're going to need 1 and 1, 2 more loops here, and we can easily just make them go all the way here, and we can do this here. We'll do that. First we need to get a good volume. Okay, so this is where, I don't know what we say, this part, it comes and it goes right inside like this. And this part where the thumb, if I just go to the bottom view, press 4, this comes out like this. This goes in. This is the extreme. We might going to need more loops. So I'll just leave this way, and we should add more loop here. Okay, that's better. Edge ring and split. Here we go. Let's go to perspective. Make sure to keep on creating round curvature. Nothing can be straight. If you take 5 to 10 minutes just to study the reference, right view, no, it's a left view. Press 4. There it go. So this goes way down, but this needs to goes up. Second, we might need to add one more loop here, and that needs to go all the way up, because we can't add more loop here. Just by having this loop, we can have 6 loop per fingers, and later on we can make the 6 to the 8. We'll do the 8. Let's add more loops here, and let it go up. And just connect the circle and merge this to the center. This will help you connect the feet and make it proper round. So this is the limit. This is where from this we go 8. But after this we can all mess around. So let's take this. This is a bit bigger feet. I'll just keep it little less healthy, you can say. Let's adjust all the loops. If you press 3, you will see you are starting to get the basic shape. Okay, so what's the goal? We started with a box. We made 8 loop for feet to connect to the main leg, and then we extrude further, and then we start taking shape from the reference. That's the shape. The feet is not this flat, so we will just lift the entire corner loops up. We should do it later. Right now we don't have enough loops, so let's add more loop. The next loop is gonna be crucial. This will split the feet, not the feet. This will split the fingers. We will let it go all the way to the back. This one especially, this will help you to create a good base for the feet. Here we go. And then we can again trace all the fingers from the bottom. This is thumb area. This is going to be the forefinger. This is going to be the middle one. We need one more loop. We're going to slide this loop to the middle. So just slide all the loop towards. So basically we created a space for one more. For the top we need to go and fix. So the steps are important. The steps are important. The first, when we created the box, then how when we split the box, how we extruded it, and how we are splitting the loops for the finger. Slowly it will start looking like a feet, but you must have to watch the references closely, and enough number of references, not just like one or two. I'm not suggesting you to just start staring everybody's feet, but yeah, you can find plenty of reference on the internet. Imagine a sandal, imagine a shoe, how it shapes, how its volume. This is how I started when I was modeling it for the first time. And I'll just add the loop. I'll just connect it here. We'll delete this one, and this should go like this. Let it go to this side. The thumb has extra volume. It helps you to create the extra volume, and the extra loop here will give us a advantage for the curve. Now we have an enough loop to make it rounder. So slowly you can see it's taking shape. So this is getting nice. The arc, we are getting the arc needed for the thumb. We can add one more loop, added edge flow, press G, added edge flow. So this should be good moving forward. So let's work out with the fingers. If we just look at the reference, they are very nice and tiny circular. If you're going to add a loop, it's going to come up with a lot of work, but it will make a very really nice fingers. Or we can go with 6. Let's try the 6 one. I just extruded the 6 loop. Make sure to keep matching. You will also look the left and the last scale. Okay, let's add loops. Let's say this is, and this is a straight thumb. One more loop and this is done. Let's make it rounder. Sometimes it's better to have what you say, less references compared to if you work with like all views, none of them will match, and you will be keep confusing, like right is good, left is not okay. When left is good, right is not okay. So I prefer to avoid references when there is not much of matching thing is there. When there is like it has to match with the reference, that's a different story. But when you don't have to match with any certain stuff, it just has to look okay, and then your job is done. Look, does it look like the, no, it doesn't. We need to improve. So I guess we might need to add a loop, but not too far, just enough to give it the round shape. How about we add a loop in thumb only and we'll leave the rest to 6. Then this will go again the sideways. If you have seen my hand video, at the corner I made few adjustments where the finger meets the palm. The same way will be adjusting the fingers here. Okay, so let's move to the next finger. Before we move, let's add the connection loop. I'll just bevel all the loops so we can get this, and we will just extrude the remaining. Nobody wants this finger to be that big. Here we go. And then we extrude from here. Let's press 3. Let's make it rounder. Press 5. Edit edge flow. This should do the job for now. Here we go. Let's move to the next finger. Here comes the last one. Shift and move. And in the studio production house, we don't really model it. We just keep one good feet and few good hands of different characters, different situation, and we put them all together when it's needed. Old hand, young hand, stylized hand, female hand, all sorts of. But for the test, when you apply for a job, you don't know what will come. So every little bit of knowledge is important. And if you see the fingers are quite big, make sure they kind of match the proportion. Sometimes you don't know until you try. It is hard if you try to model the feet, but the real key is right reference. If you have the right reference, you can easily achieve it. If you don't have the right reference, you will have trouble. So make sure to spend some time for the right reference, and it's easily available. Even AI can quickly give you good references. And the topology, always important. I'm using Control Shift to slide the loops. Okay, this looks a little flat from the side. Just going to fix the volume. So if you just look it from here, it goes in almost straight, which is there. We just need to fix it. Select soft select surface. Okay, let's create the nails. We just have to repeat the process we did with the what you say uh, hands. It's kind of same process. Just do the small nail. This needs to be round. This is going bad. Let's try to fix it. Okay, this is good. This seems bigger. We'll just undo this. The front needs to be a little wider. So the same way we will continue making the nail. Okay, so once we are done with the fingers, not one of the best in the world, but you know, kinda does his jobs. Let's place them in between. Pretty much, it looks like somebody had stump on it and some hammer thrown on it. Just finish the loop and we'll fix this. There will be lots and plenty of issues, but you can fix it. Piece of cake. Yep. This way, this every corner will be a quad. This is where you have a bit of sense what should be where, and you can take your liberty, do a little sculpting. Let's switch to sculpting. Use default shader. I don't like the green. We just use B for brush size, and then okay, then the next, keep looking from perspective a little bigger. Okay, we'll make it bigger. Not the right size, but this will do. Let's, this needs to be raised more. I believe we need to work with the loops. Some loop might go all the way to the back. So let's do some changes. Let's take this loop here and this loop here, and this will go all the way back and connects here. Sounds nice. This way it will be better topology. We'll just connect it here. So this goes away and this too goes away, and we'll just get rid of this. Here it is. Edit edge flow. Let's repeat. Edit edge flow. This needs to continue and be straight so we won't get the dent. Actually, this is the area which goes down. If you look at the reference, another half hour I have spent, and then I feel like I can spend another half an hour just to give the final touch. But there's no end to it. It's been a way already over an hour video for me. I might compress it little lesser, but feet is not easy and it takes a time. We have this ankle part, so let's just quickly make the ankle. We might need to continue this or we will lose the volume. So we continue with one extra loop. We can easily manage that. That's not the issue. By adding an extra loop, it's easy to manage. It's actually four loop, but it makes things pretty easier. This is way bigger. It's not that big. So let's quickly this is the max we can go. This is where our feet lies. We might work a little bit with what you say fingers. These need to be tightly closed. The gap needs to be tight. The finger needs to have a little volume. So maybe another touch. Definitely it's getting better. So it's about like more the time we spend, the better it gets. It's down to how much time you can spend and things will get better. The best way is always sculpting. Okay, so this is our feet almost made it. The bag I don't like, quite pointy, but these can be worked upon. So we'll meet in the next video where we going to connect the feet with the main body.